What's up, Bravo and Blaze fam? Today is a special bonus episode. We're going behind the scenes of Bravo content creation with someone who has built a powerful, unfiltered, and very messy space for Bravo fans on YouTube. Please welcome the real Andy of Beverly Hills. Hold on, I'm trying to fix my. There we go. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so sorry for that little hiccup there. I'm so happy to see you. It's been a while since we've recorded together.
Yeah, we talk more like on Instagram and stuff, but we
Yeah,
haven't like collab in a second. How are
I
you?
know. I'm good. I think. Wait, did we see each other at Bravocon 2023?
No, no, we didn't.
We didn't. I
You,
feel like
you,
I
you.
saw you.
I don't. No, no, no. Because we talk, and then I think you got either tired or something like that, and then I remember you saying like, I'm just too tired, I'm gonna go to the hotel. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah, you know what, that I'm gonna do the same. And like we just kind of like
yeah.
didn't met that time. Yeah.
Bravocon was. It's very tiring.
Like the energy that you need to have to be there, like people don't understand it, especially as us as content creators, that we have to like
Mhm.
take everything, but yes, like at the end of the day you're like, no, like please take me home.
I know. Are you gonna go this year?
I am gonna go this year. Yes.
Yay! Oh my gosh,
And
that's so exciting.
I'm super excited because, like last year, like I wanted it to repeat the experience, but I kind of like understood why they didn't do it. There was like a lot of like mess, in the air.
Yeah.
And there is still mess this year, but I think now they have at least cool surprises for us. I'm expecting to happen, and the shows are a little bit more centered now. And I don't know. I feel like this year is perfect and it's gonna go good. I was surprised that they announced the ticket so late and everything is kind of like being,
Yeah.
you know,
Actually, I feel like in the past they've put the tickets on sale around April.
even before. I remember, I think like February they did
Really?
2022. Yes.
Oh, wow.
and
Hmm.
and then there was like several people kind of like, I don't know if they do it so people rush and like want to buy absolutely everything, which kind of like work, like those tickets were like sold out in like minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you know what, as long as we have it, um, we're happy. So
Yeah. What are you looking forward to seeing the most at BravoCon this year?
I think this time around the experience is going to be different. Last Bravocon was my first Bravocon, so it was a lot of like, oh my god, this, and that, and watching so many Bravo celebrities at the same time, and you want to talk to everyone and you get
Yeah.
to know more people. So it's like a lot of like, also maybe that's why you have to spend so much energy, because there is a lot. You want to go to every panel, you want to go to everything. This
I
time
know.
around, also it has been 2 years. I don't know, like I grow up as a content creator as well. So like I'm like, maybe this time I'm just gonna go to the panels that I really like and not every single panel, you
Oh my God.
know.
You try to go to every single panel last time?
I went to every single panel. Even when they overlap, I will go like a little bit to one and then we'll run to the next one.
Really? I didn't go to
Yeah.
any panels. I stayed
No,
away.
you sat in the lounge. You were like, this is my
Yes.
panel. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, I'm not going to a panel because, first of all, don't you have to stand in line for those?
Yeah, no, actually, I mean, but
It's
that's the
standing
thing.
in
Like
line.
last year, except for Vanderpump Rules and Beverly Hills,
Mhm.
they were very chill, all of them. Like
Oh,
they were like very easy to get to. Except also like New York was a surprise because I think they expected no one to go to New York, and it
mhm.
got like super full. They did it on the not on the main one, but you remember the little one?
Yeah, they have
The-
like a few different
yeah,
stages. Oh
and
my gosh, I didn't know
I remember they did at the same time Roni and Married to Medicine, and they put Married to Medicine on the main one,
that.
and that
Uh-huh.
was almost empty. And then Roni was like full. I mean, the people couldn't even get in. Like the line was like so insanely
Oh
long.
my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
I remember in at Bravocon 2022, the Beverly Hills panel was on like the first day. And I wasn't even there. I heard about this from other people. They were like, oh my gosh, Beverly Hills was crazy. The people rushed the stage to boo Rinna. I was like,
Oh yeah.
that scares me. My biggest fear is, well, not my biggest fear, maybe one of my biggest fears is big crowds. And so I try to stay away from that. BravoCon scares me.
Like I feel like you have. I mean, of course, we like understand the fandoms, and how passionate they get sometimes. Um, for me, I mean, I do remember Beverly Hills being, completely full. Like people were standing, and that was like the big main stage. So that was kind of like their big hit.
Yeah.
But for example, for me, as we are expecting, the most toxic one was New Jersey. New Jersey was full, but like that the fans of New Jersey go crazy,
They scare me. They scare me.
Yeah. So like both, and they have 2 days. Remember that they have to separate the panels.
Mhm, mhm,
And I went to both of them, even though I'm not fan of one of the groups. I still
mhm.
went to both of them just to like see what
Yeah,
was going to happen.
yeah.
And you're right. Like there are always people like booing and clapping and screaming and like doing everything.
Mhm.
And I hear the craziest things like from the people like sitting next to me, and I was like, "What is this? What is this happening over here?" Like is this a sport? Like people get really, really passionate when it comes to New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, and Beverly Hills, which I wanna
I'm
talk
really
to you about
yeah.
because that seems to be your specialty, Beverly Hills. And season 15, did they just start filming?
They
Or
started filming a couple weeks ago, like a week and a half ago.
okay, so the biggest news for me for Beverly Hills was that Rachel Zoe is joining. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I Okay, so personally, I'm gonna give you my personal opinion and then the tea of what the streets are saying.
Yes, yes, tell me everything.
So, my personal opinion, I think she's going to do great. Okay, she
Mhm.
is a Bravo veteran, so there
Yes.
is something different when you already know how to handle reality TV, even if it was
Mhm,
a long time ago, and of course it has changed.
mhm.
There are things that you already know how to manage: a camera, a producer, all of that. It's going to be maybe a little bit different in the sense that this is not going to be her show, and now it's going to be
Yes,
like an ensemble.
yes.
So she's going to have to share. So I think that's going to be the little part that is going to be different for her. But she knows about fashion. She
Mhm,
actually, which makes me very happy, has real friendships and relationships with some of the ladies here in Beverly Hills.
mhm,
So she actually has connections with Kathy Hilton, Bosoma St. John, Kyle Richards. She knows Sutton, So like I think that is something that is very needed here in Beverly Hills.
mhm.
I feel that the past couple seasons, Beverly Hills has feel very disconnected. You know,
Yeah. Well,
so
it's never been one of my favorites, but I'm, like, really excited for Rachel Zoe because
yeah,
I love her from her show, but I wanna ask you because that when was her show even on? It's been over a decade, right?
over a decade. Yeah, she was one of the pioneers in Bravo, basically.
Yeah, so I wanna know I think what's gonna be interesting with Rachel Zoe is that I don't know if she's used to the social media part of filming a reality show because when she filmed, I don't think the fandoms, Twitter, Instagram, I don't think they were popping as much as they are today.
No,
And that could be a huge change for her to get used to because now you got like that they're filming. So we know that if people see them out right now, that gets back to us and that gets out to the media before the show even
mm,
airs. I don't know if that like I'm wondering how that's going to impact her because I don't think
I
she's used to that.
no, I feel that that's one of the parts that is always gonna humble every single new housewife. I feel also like Beverly Hills. It's undeniable, but there is an air of like fakeness between people, and I think that's why Beverly Hills is the way it is.
Mhm.
These ladies behave in person very much like you see them on the show. and that there is a lot of the air kiss and a lot of like that we don't want to like talk about everything bad, and then boom, you are in Bravo. There are no secrets. Like
Yeah.
every skeleton on the closet will be out, at some
Yeah.
point. So I think that really humbles a person who comes to the show from Beverly Hills. That's why also many people don't want to do the show.
Yeah.
I have talked to many people who have been interviewed for the show, or that has been not interviewed, but like asked, do you want to be part of the show? And they're like, I don't want to make things out there,
Yeah.
They don't want their secrets out there. They don't want to people know what their husbands are doing. They don't want, or simply from, they don't want to be embarrassed or whatever on national TV. So that's why it's so hard to find people here in Beverly Hills. And
Also at Beverly Hills, I feel like everyone is so rich and like it becomes a safety issue. Look at
yeah,
Dorit. What has happened to her? She's been robbed multiple times. So, I
yeah.
mean, I get that. And it's surprising that people even go on.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Also the difference in, Dorit doesn't live in Beverly Hills. She lives in Sino. So that's the security is different.
Just
I'm so
some
sorry.
slight shade.
Yeah.
What else?
Um,
What else can you tell me about Beverly Hills? Because I feel like
so
you
yeah,
are like in it.
yeah. So I have heard different things, but definitely I did hear that some girls are not happy with the inclusion of Rachel Soy into the mix, you know?
Wait,
And
what?
yeah,
Why?
I think it's the same thing. I think it comes from a place of jealousy. I
Yeah,
think it's like
is this similar to like when Jennifer Tilly joined and they're like, we don't like her, and I'm
kind
like,
of. I
why?
think yeah, because I think they want to control the show, or they want to be like the big shots in the show, and then you have someone who gets such a positive reaction because the moment that Rachel was announced, everyone was like, yes, yes, yes. Yes. I mean, I haven't heard a negative comment about Rachel Soy
Yeah,
uh,
me
joining
either.
the show. So
Mhm,
everyone, and I think that kind of because they already know what could happen, like Kathy Hilton came and become a super fan favorite, being a
mhm,
friend of the show.
mhm.
Jennifer Tilly did the same thing.
Love her.
So, and usually, if you see the record, when they get someone who become famous or not famous, but like big, so fast, there are problems with that person. And I think it comes from that. It comes from like, why is this girl who no one knows out of nowhere it's becoming a sensation online? There is a lot of jealousy here in Beverly Hills because it's not about money. It's about status. It's
Yeah,
about being the queen bee, of
yeah.
the show. And
Social status and rankings.
and you bring someone who also have money. You have to know, like, Bravo is now moving in kind of like a good direction with Beverly Hills because now we have most of the cast who actually have money to live their real lifestyles.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
even like Sutton, like, have a lot of money. Kyle Richards has money. Bosoma has money. Jennifer Tilly has money, and now we have Rachel Soy who also has money. So that's a little. It gives for a different show. If you go to
yeah,
Miami, you can see everyone has money, so they
mhm,
can do whatever they want to do. They can go to whatever trip they want to go. They can spend how much money they want to spend. They,
yeah,
they they don't have people that other people don't like real, uh, big people don't want in their cast.
mhm,
So it give them more opportunities to do stuff. And I
mhm.
think that's, I mean, at the end of the day, Real Housewife is the foundation of, real rich women living their lives.
Yeah,
So
that's what I wanna see. I don't wanna see Gina Kirschenheiter in her casita
it's like a casita,
and her
exactly.
bad
Yeah,
extensions.
yeah.
Like,
Like
come
talk
on.
to me when you have like a guest casita and a huge ass mansion. So,
Like, at least 2 of them.
yeah.
Okay, Tay the Savior mentioned Teddy's coming in. What are your thoughts on that?
So I mean, I get it because we talk about this all the time. People hate Teddy, in general, and it's a combination of things. I think people have not forgiven Teddy for everything that happened with the Lisa Vanderpump days, and she has definitely not making easy to on herself.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to say, we have the image of the boring Teddy that was on the show, the one that didn't do anything, and then let herself be controlled by Lisa Rena and Kyle, and then went against Lisa Vanderpump, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that she changed so much. When I start hearing her on Two Teas in a Pod, I mean, I'm not a fan, but I was like, okay, where was this shadiness? Where was all of these things that you are saying now,
Yeah.
are like, because that's interesting, and
Yeah.
I think she also has money, and she also comes from money, right? So I was like, where is all of this when you were on the show, right? Yeah, she was pregnant, whatever, but like are we gonna have this again? Also, I'm not anti it. I just think that if she's gonna come, then she has to play the damn game,
Mm-hmm.
not being just the mouthpiece of Kyle Richards, right? And also, I need people asking questions. I mean, if you're gonna come here, we're gonna have to talk about you cheating on your husband with the horse trainer. You
Yes,
know,
we do need to talk about that.
we need to talk about that. We need to talk why, while his wife was having a kid, you were with
Yes.
him. You know,
Oh my
so
gosh, that's right.
yeah,
I almost forgot about that because a lot has happened with Teddy
I
in the
love what's happening,
last
and I
few
know
months.
it's gonna be sad, a lot of like sadness with the cancer and like everything that she's going through, right? But if we're gonna have a Teddy who is just going to be a victim, then she's not gonna make herself any favors because people are just gonna be like, "You are being boring again. What is your point of being on this show?" You
Yeah.
know. So I think she needs to come back with the attitude that she learned from being on the podcast, and
Yeah.
now that she has a little bit of a backbone, and see for herself. Now there is no news if she's going to be a full time or just a friend of the show, but it's definitely going to be more than a cameo that she did before, right? So
What I want to know is how she is going through all this stuff and still manages to land a boyfriend. And I'm not going through any of these things. I can't
yeah,
even get one.
girl, I mean, she's moving. I mean, I think
It's like so busy.
she played that shy, part on the show, or maybe that's who she was back in that moment. It has been how many years
She's
since she was on the
changed.
show,
Yeah.
but I think she changed, and it's going to be interesting. Bravo sometimes give you, well, Bravo fans sometimes can give you a second chance, but if you miss that second chance, like, bitch, you're completely out.
Yeah, I think that's
So
it.
because
Well,
getting that second chance is really hard in the first place.
yeah.
So yeah.
Who has gotten a second chance who's blown it or who has completely nailed it,
Um,
in your
I mean,
opinion?
we have other housewives like Sherry Winfield. She has been three times asked back.
Yeah,
And
but
she
she
in
kinda,
the
like, flopped, right?
yeah. I mean, her second time. I mean, she's a weird. Or I don't know if they manage things different in Atlanta, but she's the only housewife who has been back three times. So and it still didn't work, or it wasn't good enough. There has been people like, remember Lydia
Oh, yeah, Lydia.
something,
Lydia
from
came
Orange
back.
County. Yeah, she
Yeah,
came back for a season, then it didn't work out. There has been some housewives here and there, but I'm trying to think who came back and
Vicky,
really kind of like stay.
Alexia. Alexia left and came back. She kinda, like, took a break, right? Because all the stuff happened with Frankie.
Yes, yes, she did.
Yeah.
She was on the first season. She was not on the second season, and then she came back in the third. And now, I mean, she's our walking telenovela. So, we cannot have a life without Alexia.
Oh my gosh, can we switch to Miami? Because I'm, like, obsessed. We only have 2 episodes of this season already, and I'm, like, so obsessed. I love Miami so much right now. What do you think?
I'm like Miami. I mean, everyone knows it. Everyone knows that Miami is like right now the shows that are like control everything is Miami and Salt Lake City. You know,
I
those are the
know.
number one guys on Bravo right
They
now
really
because
are.
yeah, and Miami is they don't sleep, and I feel that that's because they all have money. They don't really need the Bravo check. They just using Bravo for fame. But
Mhm.
if they get fired, their life is really not gonna change at all, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
I feel that that gave them the power of just being real, you know,
Yeah.
and just say whatever they want to say and behave however they want to behave. And I love that because there is
Yeah,
nothing
me.
worse than a desperate housewife, you know,
Yes.
trying to get attention, trying to be thirsty, trying to whatever. I like, look, I still don't understand why we have three friends of the show and they don't give him mojitos. Like, I just don't get it. But they do so much. And it's funny, like, you can rewatch every season, and every season Alexia has something going on that is not
Yes.
even that you cannot even say, oh, it's just for a storyline. No, it's like real actual
Yeah.
shit happening to her.
Craziness.
You
I
know,
know.
like what is happening over here? You know, like her first husband died, the other one is in jail, the other one was gay. Now this
Yeah.
thing, you know, like it's always something. Her mom died on the same day of the wedding. Like
Oh
I'm
my gosh. Yes. Insane. And
you
this whole
know,
thing with Todd, did you know that it went down like that when it happened? Like when he left and everything? Because I didn't know.
I mean, I heard things, but I didn't know the extension of it. Like I didn't know that he
Frankie was
left
there.
Frankie, you know, right
Yeah.
there. Like like let him saw him leave, you know.
Yeah.
That to me, like bitch,
That's
I will
sad.
have killed that guy. Like I will have like unalive some people right now because I was like, you are gonna leave my kids who have special needs,
Yeah.
you know.
It's really messed up. I'm shocked though because on Watch What Happens Live this week, she said she's still like she just slept with Todd a couple days ago.
Yes. So the thing is, and who was it? I think it was Adriana that said this, and it's kind of true. It's sad, but it's kind of true that you know in the Latino community we see a lot of this. You know, because we love so much, we allow sometimes this toxicity, right? And Alexia is so desperate to have her happy ending. You know, I
Yes.
think her mind is like I I mean, she loved him. She's like, I mean, I was in love. I did all of this. How I'm gonna like start all over again, you know? And
Yeah.
this is a very Latino thing. We really suffer of like not wanting to do everything all over again. Like what it's better to fight with like what you already have right now than like just start over. But that's I mean, it can work sometimes, but like when it's something this bad, and again like as a mother and everything, I think there is a point where you just have to say like you do not mess with my kids, you know. And Todd was never nice to either of his kids, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the last episode, but she spilled all the tea, you know. She was
Yeah.
like, your
What?
fake apartment, your fake
Yeah.
car, your fake, and I was like, okay,
I
girl.
love that scene so much because Alexia went from like 0 to 100, like, and we could see the emotional roller
Yeah.
coaster real time play out. I was like, oh my gosh. And then
Mm,
when the one guy was like, he fucked with Frankie, bro. I was like, oh shit, she lost it. I was like, oh my gosh. What do you
crazy. I feel like she needs to really sit down and like understand that she deserves a happy ending, but she deserves a happy ending with someone who really is gonna give her that, you know.
Yeah.
And yes, maybe you work with this guy for I don't know 3 years, 4 years, whatever, you know, but it's like the red flags are just like extremely too big, you know.
I
So at
know.
some point, you know, it's not like I'm gonna show the world that he's different. No, it's like he's literally like making you this, you know, like he's literally hurting you. He is literally like sending you horrible messages. He's literally don't give a shit about you, you know, and she knows it. It all comes from a place of control because he will never be okay with her having so much power. And the thing is, even if Alexia quits the show, once a housewife, always a housewife. So she will always be recognized to be
Yeah.
a real housewife. And I don't think he will ever be able to cope with that, you know?
You make a good point. Oh my gosh. Alexia needs to cut that off.
Yeah,
That
that
whole
has to be
relationship.
from the root, a block and
I
everything,
mean,
and
he
say like,
literally divorced her and she's like, but I love him.
yeah,
Like, what?
she just needs another man. I mean, I don't think she's gonna be looking for this, but she just needs like, hopefully the universe just send her like another man, and that will make that click, and make her feel desire and love and give her, the attention. Because right now he's playing with her.
I know. It's really sad. I hope
Mhm.
this season, like, she can watch back, and by the end of this season, she's like, okay, I'm done.
Mm.
That's what I'm praying for.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about Lisa and Larsa?
The girl. Look, I'm gonna say I have never been a fan of Larsa in general.
Mhm.
Uh, I just, I mean, their feud is actually what we can say is a real feud, because they are or they were real friends.
Yeah. Mhm. I
Um,
think they're still fighting,
they're still
like,
fighting, yes,
after filming,
and
yeah.
this is one of those times where, you know, look, if Lisa was the one hanging out with Marcus and calling him to go to dinner, and doing all of that, then I will say, like, bitch, what are you doing? You're supposed to be my best friend. But you cannot control what her boyfriend is
Right.
doing, right? Even if
Mhm.
it's for the right or the wrong reasons, that's the boyfriend. And they already established a group of friends. And this is society as well. So you're going to see him, or like, no matter what, right? So I don't think that it was fair for Larsa to pin that on Lisa. Be mad at Jody, say like, you know what, I'm not gonna have a relationship with you anymore, or I'm just gonna be cordial, and that's it. That's Jody's problem, right?
Yeah.
But she take it on Lisa, becomes super nasty. Of course, I mean, I know she's hurting and she's in pain and she's expecting this like on like a blind loyalty,
Yeah.
and all of that. But life doesn't work like that, especially I think as an adult, you already know that you cannot tell people who they can be friends or not.
Yeah.
So the only thing that you can do is like, okay, you want to be friends with that person? That's fine. I'm gonna keep you, an arm's length. And now I know where I stand, with you. But
Yeah.
you cannot create all of this drama because your friend's boyfriend is hanging out with your ex. I mean, I get it. Marcus is toxic, is bad, all of the things. It's true. I mean, we saw the text messages, we saw everything, but that has nothing to do with Lisa.
I
And the
know.
fact that Larsa thinks that he can control, this is the same thing that we have seen in many other franchises. People thinking that they can control their mans or their boyfriends, or like they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do. And what I don't like is that from the trailer and the things that we have been seeing, Larsa is now becoming vindictive towards Jody, and now she's gonna start
Yes.
throwing all of the allegations, and she's gonna be saying that he's using her, that he's did. Like, I have met them in person, like,
Same.
many times before. That man loved
He
Lisa.
right? I said the same thing. I met him at BravoCon 2023, and I said this during my BravoCon like recap or whatever. I made a point to call out Jody and let everyone know that he gave me the most like positive vibes and energy of anyone at
Anyone?
BravoCon.
Yes.
Anyone. I was like, like he actually left a little bit of an impression on me that still is lasting on me to this day, like almost 2 years later. I don't like that's when I'm watching Larsa try to target Jody, I'm starting to get like defensive for Jody. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, hell no, back off. And I
Yeah.
love Lisa, how she's actually sticking up for herself. I think her divorce with Lenny she's actually gained some skills, life skills, in how to handle people and
Mhm.
set boundaries. Just like she said in one of the episodes, she's like, I'm setting boundaries. And I love that for her. And I love this version of Lisa. And I'm happy for her and Jody. I just cannot believe anything negative about Jody based on
Yeah.
my firsthand experience with him.
I know. Look, I have been with them, in dinners, and it's not even like how he behaves also with other people. It's like the way that I have seen him treat Lisa,
Yes.
and you can
Yes.
see, I mean, he loves her. He's always like, what
Mm-hmm.
do you need? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. So you can see that like
Yes.
extra love that is right there.
Yep.
And yes, and look, that's the part. I don't like that Larsa is now becoming this vindictive person. Like, for example, the picture that we're gonna see in the next episode, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh my God, his eyes are so big," and that the producers are producing because first we have the AC
Yeah.
incident, and now we have the picture. We know where they try to go
Yeah.
with it, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and we have Lisa having to explain after every single episode what is going on. She posted, I think, after this episode with the whole roll of
Yep.
pictures of
Yep.
that moment, saying,
Mhm.
"Look, this is what happened," and for Larsa to go picture after picture, assess picture to see which one she's gonna choose to zoom, on his face. Which any picture of any person and zoom of their faces, they're gonna. I mean, you're gonna look like weird, you know? And I'm like, so this is what you're gonna do. Like your storyline now is gonna be,
Yeah.
I'm
Try
gonna
to.
go after Joey, you
Yeah.
know? So and I think that's not a good thing. And I mean, I hope that Lisa understand that this is her true colors. She's never
Yeah.
going to be your real friend. So
What do you think from like a production standpoint? You mentioned how it looks like they're setting up the storyline with the whole AC thing in episode 1, and now they're showing that Larsa's about to like zoom in on Jody's eyes. You and I seem to have a similar impression of Jody from meeting him in person. It kind of like bothers me a little bit to know that they're intentionally editing things to kind of assist that storyline. What do you think about that?
I feel that when you have a housewife that literally has no other storyline, then you have to like play it that way. I mean, Larsa doesn't have really anything else going on. And if she's gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna go after Jody, then the producers who are around her, what else? Like they don't have anything else to take
I
to
guess,
say, like,
yeah.
and then usually this happen a lot. Like they start putting all of these things out there to see how the people react, how what the fans are really thinking, and if
Mhm,
this really is going to be a storyline that is gonna be working for Larsa, right?
mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
it and I mean, I bet you that there are people already saying like, oh yeah, this guy is doing this guy is doing that. I mean, we already saw the memes after the first episode,
Yeah.
like, is the AC the new pasta? So uh it's part of the game. I think that at the end of the day, in reality TV, you just have to be as honest as you can, and live your life as real as you can, and it is what it is. I mean, they will always change the narrative. They always give us that little extra drama, and it sucks for someone like Lisa and Jody that have to like now defend themselves,
I
into
know.
all of this. But at the same time, I mean, I'm the kind of person who says like they're adults. I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't
that they
care.
have never ever done anything in their lives. So like if they want to do it, that's honestly like they're unless it's like an actual like problem.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if they want to do it, like who cares? But the thing is that Larsa is not only gonna play this card, right? She's full on anti Jody. So we're already seeing that she's gonna say like, why is he always with her? He's taking advantage of her. Is she using her money? Is he doing this? We already saw on the trailer a lot of things that is telling you Larsa is just gonna grab absolutely everything
Yeah.
that she sees,
Yeah.
that is gonna create this. She's gonna do like a Janet, right, from the Valley. She's gonna be like, did he drink one drink? Oh my God, he's an alcoholic. He needs rehab. And she's gonna just start doing all of this. Why? Because she doesn't have another storyline. So this is her storyline. So
That's a good pivot. What are your thoughts other than Janet? What are your thoughts on the Valley currently?
this is the best show that the Bravo
Really?
gave
Oh
us.
my god.
I love Real Housewives is different, right? But in the other shows, messiness
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
it gave me life. Sometimes I just want to be screaming at that TV.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Look, I haven't had a show when I like hate half of the show and love the other half of the show so much. Cast of the show. Um, I They did a really good job. And these people, they want to pretend that they are friends. They are not friends. Like they're just like a group of people who happen to like hang out, but like once you put cameras on them, girl, it's the Hunger Games.
It's very
And it
similar.
gave for good reality TV. As
It
humans,
does.
yes, I mean they're probably not good, some of them, but it gave for really good reality TV. And I mean, honestly, I mean, I could do like a whole show about this, but like very quickly, like Brittany and Jax, like Jax is so unhinged and out of control now. And it pains me so much because I have never been an apologist for him, but I understand him as a reality TV star, because he has always gave us good reality TV.
He does.
He's the
But
kind
like
of
not
person,
in a good way.
not in a
Like
good way.
he knows how, but not in a good way.
Exactly, yes, because he's only loyal to himself. He doesn't give a shit about anyone else. So he will throw everyone under the bus. So, and that gates for good reality TV normally, right? But the Jags that we're seeing right now, it's it's completely out of control. It's completely dark. It's some of the things that I mean, I have to applaud Brittany. I'm so sorry, but having to live with someone who is watching you through cameras, who is listening to you, who is sending you all of the text messages. I love that she is showing the text messages,
Yeah.
because
Finally.
I didn't want it to be like a he said, she said, kind of situation. No, like these are the actual receipts that this is what he's doing
Yeah.
to me,
I
right?
love that.
I love that. I love that
I
she's
love
not
knowing
putting
about
it.
Frank Drebin too. The fake
Exactly.
account.
Like I was like screaming at that last night. I was like, damn.
That was so
Although,
good.
that was so good. That was so good. But here you go. Like we all know that Janet has also like fake accounts. So
Yeah.
like the fact that she's also like coming for Jax after Jax for this, I'm like, girl. But anyways, it gives so much good TV. Everything that is happening between Jesse and Michelle, everything. Stack is now having this big part, on the
I'm loving
show.
Zach. Yes,
I'm
Zach is
loving
doing
Stack.
amazing.
Jasmine is also like being unhinged weirdly, and then she comes back, and then like everyone is kind of like the middle. Like Kristen Doty is the same one on this show.
So
So
weird.
like that has to tell you something when Kristen Doty is kind of like being like, yeah, let's look at it this way, let's do this. The way that she actually talked to Jax, I was like, that's a real friendship. That's someone who is really talking to you from their heart and being like, you are causing pain. You have to stop
Yeah.
doing this. So I was like, that's a real friendship right there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think in general, it's an incredible mess. There has been some talk that it's becoming too dark, and that maybe, they need to do some changes. And I personally will not make any changes yet. I think I will give them another season,
With Jax.
with Jax included, because I it's the same. Look, Jackson, Brittany, and Jesse and Michelle, they are going through these massive, horrible situations of divorce, right?
Hmm.
But we need to understand that eventually they need to work something out because they have kids. So this
Yeah.
is not like an Ariana Tom Sandoval situation where they can just broke up and never see each other again. These
Yeah.
people are gonna be in each other's lives for the rest of their lives. You
Yeah,
know?
but I wish Alex Baskin wouldn't show Jax's individual scenes. Like they can still show what
Yes.
Britney's real life is without giving Jax his confessionals and showing him living next to Schwartz and him sending in home videos from quote
I
unquote
believe that
rehab. Like that's
yeah.
crazy. Why are we?
That's crazy. You're right, and I don't think that. I feel that he needs to be punished a little bit.
Yeah,
I still, it's weird in this group of friends that is so obvious that they are all related to Jax Taylor, right?
I know.
That he's
Yes.
not gonna be there. I believe that maybe he should be like demoted to a friend of the show, next
Yeah, he could
season.
still be. I mean, he has to be a part of it because
Yeah,
he's
uh,
the father of Brittany's child, and he can't. He's not going to go away. But we don't need him to be front and center. Is what
exactly.
I
And
think.
I'm gonna tell you something that I told my husband last night when we were watching the show. Jax Taylor has such a strong presence that if you watch the last night episode, not even Jesse, who was trying to stand up to him, and Jesse has a strong personality, was able to control him,
Yeah.
because that's
Well, I
how
don't think
like
you can.
strong. So like really stand up to Jax Taylor, it takes a lot.
Well, that's why
So
I think Alex Baskin needs to
uh,
intervene because
yeah,
that's the only way to actually shut Jax
yeah,
down in any way. Like Lisa
I feel
Vanderpump had some power before she could fire him from Sir, but like he's still, I don't know. You know
yes.
how Jax
I
is.
look, Jax is it's such a weird topic, and it's like uh on one side you just don't want to see him ever again, you just want him to be gone, leave Britney alone, blah blah blah, all of that, right?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
But that's not going to happen. And second of all, he again, he is good at reality TV somehow. I think there has to be a way to show him, first of all, this is not your show anymore, or it's not even your show. I think like
My show, my show,
my
my show.
show, my show. She did the
So
same in
cheesy.
Vanderpump Rules, remember? When Lisa has to say, like, this is
Yes,
not your show, baby. This is my show,
yes, that was
you know?
wild. Oh
Yeah.
my
So,
God.
but that's his narcissism talking. That's his like thing talking. But I feel that, yes, Alex Baskin needs to do something. He actually said on an interview that they did like a couple of days ago, he said like Jax Taylor was important into the creation of the Valley,
Hmm.
but no one has a job, you know,
Yeah, no one's
for sure
guaranteed.
here. And I
Yep.
think they need to do something that I like that. I think Jax needs to understand that he cannot do whatever he wants to do anymore. That he's not the number one guy in the show anymore. And but with his problems, with his mental health issues, and with the way he is, I just don't know if it's gonna happen, to be honest with you. I don't know if he has it in him to make that change.
I don't think
And
he wants to.
yeah,
But can I just say something? I'm going to drop some tea right now that literally I got right before we started this live stream.
oh my
So
god,
Mike Ha in the comment said that guy I wish they interviewed would check Jax. I think a football player wouldn't deal with his crap. So I talked to that football player and he is friends with Jax. I don't know how close he is. He in some article recently that came out, it said that he was friends with Jesse Lally. He is not friends with Jesse Lally. He said he is closest to Kristen and Luke. And he was interviewed and may be on the show. And it sounds like he's is
down.
not the type of person to put up with this type of bullshit.
Maybe
So
that's what we need. Someone who is, like I said, who has that energy, who will really stand up to Jax,
yep.
and
He used to be in the
and
NFL for like 5 years. He's an actor now, and I think he has a radio show. So yeah, he's actually friends with all of them.
that's
So,
exactly what we need. Let me ask you very quickly, what do you think about Sheena, Lala, Short joining the Valley?
I mean, I don't. I think everyone already saw this coming. In season 1, people were
Yeah.
saying, like, "Don't ruin this show. It's great how it is. Don't bring them in." And of course, Alex Baskin starts bringing them in. And I think them on the after show from the very beginning was way too soon.
Yes.
Way too
Yeah.
soon. I don't think they should have done that. And also, I think Alex Baskin, I'm like totally roasting Alex Baskin today, but I think he is getting confused. Don't forget, he is the executive producer of many of the Bravo shows that we watch, But recently, or maybe like within the last year or two, he added podcast host to his resume. He's the host for Bravo's Hot Mic podcast that I think is you have to pay for,
Yeah.
which is so weird to me because he's interviewing Jax, he's interviewing Brittany. Like, imagine your boss that you film a reality show for is now interviewing you on camera. Like, this is messed up. It feels like an interrogation. Like, how
It's
can they say
weird.
anything authentic or honest in front of their boss? It's so
Exactly.
crazy. But if you look at the after shows, and I think he fixed it a little bit now that we're like halfway through the season. But in the first couple of after shows for the Valley this season, season 2, I'm like, oh my God, he's like basically giving us more content in the after show that I have to like, but without the production of it all. I'm like,
Yeah.
why doesn't he put this in this show? So I think Alex Baskin is getting confused with like how to produce a reality show versus a podcast because it feels like the after show has become a video.
I don't know if he wants to just like bring everyone from Vanderpump Rules or what was the idea behind it. I feel like, look, the cast, season 1 was a great season. I don't think that they needed absolutely like anyone from Vanderpump Rules. I understand that, yes, they are actually friends in real life, with like Sheena, and Lala and all of that, but I just don't see it for some of them, especially like you said, like why are we having them on the after show talking about shit that they were not even there for?
I know.
Like it doesn't even make any sense. But then, weirdly enough, if I was gonna bring someone, maybe Sheena, I
Yeah,
think,
Sheena, I feel like can fit in anywhere. But like
yeah,
it has to be done the right way. She
the
can't
right
be too
way. Yeah,
overpowering. She has enough in her, I think, that she can deliver. It's a matter of production and editing, putting it in properly so that the audience isn't like, like
yeah,
has a jump scare or anything. They're like, Sheena, what is she doing here? But like if she's there at a party or something, like that makes sense.
yeah.
But the one scene with Michelle at Lala's, I was like, this is weird. I'm not in.
Yeah. It felt so. I don't think that. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think that Lala is that close to many of these people. I think. I mean, Sheena is because Sheena really is friends with like with Janet, and she's really friends with Brittany, and she's really friends with all of these. I feel Lala, and I don't dislike Lala. And I know that Lala is good TV, but I think right now we are in a group of really close friends that I just don't want to be putting random people and start pushing random people.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think I just want that completely real connection,
Yeah.
that we have between all of them. I don't think Lala fit that. Schwartz, he doesn't, he's just there. I just love him. He's just there, he's just like wherever, like from side to side. I heard that the producer, or I don't know if it was Alex Baskin or who was, but like that there might have been an actual interview with Tom Sandoval
Oh, I did hear that
to
too.
join the Valley. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel that will
What
be, yeah,
I think.
I
That's right.
don't think that will be the right move at all. I think we are Sandoval out at this point.
Yeah, Sandoval has House of Villains season 3 coming up, so I think that's enough of Sandoval. We've had him on Special Forces, we've had him on The Traitors. He's infiltrated all of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't take him on the Valley. Like, please,
I
for the
think,
love
yeah, I
of
think
God.
for
At
now
least wait
on,
another season. He needs time away from
yes.
Bravo world. Let him
Make
do
himself,
something away from
yeah.
Bravo so that he can come back and be like, look, I did something else.
And he doesn't have a relationship with anyone other than maybe Jax. And they
Yeah.
just talk like here and there. Not even Schwartz is talking to Sandoval that much anymore. So like,
Well, I
um,
wonder if like Jax moving next door to Schwartz has kind of like is his way of marking his territory over Sandoval because Sandoval no longer has Schwartz and Sandy's, which was his way, his
mhm,
Tom Sandoval's way of keeping Schwartz under his belt. Now Jax has him under his belt. And Katie Maloney was so spot on when she said at that reunion that Schwartz is a serial killer's wet dream.
I I I root so much for Schwartz. I'm like, please don't let yourself be in the middle of another scandal like this. Like, learn from your from before.
Yeah.
I think I just see him
Divorce
being
is
like,
what
you
they
know, the after shows. He tries to not talk. He tries to disassociate so much from
yes,
all the bullshit that Jax is saying.
it's
And
crazy.
I
It's
think the
so
PTSD that this poor man must have,
I
is like
know.
insane.
It's so crazy. What did Britt say? Schwartz is so ready to be kidnapped. No, seriously. I think he wants to be kidnapped.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, because we're running out of time. I actually think this other show, I like it better than the Valley, and that's Next Gen NYC.
Yes, it's
What are
doing
your
something.
thoughts?
I think it's coming strong. I think people need to keep giving it a shot because it really is a good show. I think it's completely different from the Valley. Because this is New York,
Oh
right?
yeah, different vibe.
And the Bravo kids really bring it on, and you
Yes,
can see,
they're like bred for this.
yes,
Thoroughbreds.
even if they like it or not, but like they are really ready for this. And I love the involvement of the parents of the housewives, being like, yeah, I don't know if you saw the last episode, even with Seth Marks and everything, just like
Oh
inserting
my
himself.
god.
Like I just love that. I mean, I love even the new people. They are really good. Even this Charlie guy who is getting into my nerves, but like it's he gave me like a mix of James Kennedy with like Jack Taylor. Like, like,
Yes. Oh my
and
gosh.
yes,
Yeah.
but when you start hearing his story, his parents,
He
his
hates
upbringing,
that.
it
Yeah.
start kind of like making sense. I mean, not
Yeah.
to make excuses for him because you cannot be an asshole just because of your past,
Yeah.
but
He's like mad he's a Nepo baby.
yes,
It's
he
weird.
wants love. I think the only thing he wanted was a
Yeah.
loving parent,
Just want
and
love.
now he's just an asshole because that's what life make him be. I don't know. Maybe he seeing himself on TV is going to maybe change something.
Yeah.
Um,
That could change a lot of things.
but yeah, but I mean, this is like literally a Jack Taylor in the making. Like he's like right now, his I don't know if it's narcissism or whatever is like showing everywhere. He's the perfect villain for season one.
Yeah, not only on the show, but outside of that. Oh, Mike just said, I like when Jenny drops a T. So here's the T. So Charlie has two alleged things outside of the show that are going on. One, he was seen at the scene, like there's pictures of him
Oh yeah,
at the scene of the crypto torture incident in NYC, which makes sense. He said he admitted he trades crypto. There's a picture of him.
yeah,
The other thing I just recently saw, and I haven't like seen receipts or anything. It's just like rumors are spreading and headlines or whatever. He allegedly filed for bankruptcy in 2023, claiming that he only had like $1,500 to his name, which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if that's true, but if it is true, it's pretty interesting how he was talking smack about Kim, which like I'm not a fan of Kim, but like I
mm,
love Ariana Bierman,
oh yeah,
and I thought that was rude AF. I'm like, oh hell no, you're not talking about her mother right before she arrives. Like we do that, you can't,
you
sir.
can, yeah,
But I just was like, wow, this kid is messy and he has some skeletons in his closet and he has no love.
he has no love.
Bad.
It's so like, yeah, it's a perfect mess. Also, like this, all the new people. I mean, do you heard that a lot of them were very jealous of the Bravo kids,
Yes.
right?
Some of them quit because of the
There
Bravo.
was a whole other group without Bravo. I think the only was Riley and Brooks, right, who was supposed to be there. And then when Gia and Ariana were added to the mix, they were like, "Oh, we're out of
Yeah.
here," right?
Yeah.
But I will say, like, girl, if it wasn't for the Bravo kids, I don't think people will be watching this show. To be
No.
honest, that much,
No, I wouldn't. I'd
especially
be
on
like,
the first
Charlie,
season.
he's an asshole. I would have
Yes,
turned it off, but I'm not going to turn it off because I want to see Ariana and Riley put him in his place, and they're doing
yes,
that.
exactly. And also, I love to see. Like, I don't know what I was expecting from Ariana, but she really bring so much like realness. Like, I mean, she's
Love
talking about all of her mom things on episode one. I was like,
love
okay,
love it. And I love
Riley,
her. Ugh,
Who is we have seen grow up like Gia since they were like little kids, right? And
wild.
we always thought that Riley was like this, introvert, shy
Mhm.
little girl, and she's not like that anymore. She's like ready to like, don't come for me,
Yeah.
and I love that. I love to see these people standing up for themselves, being a clear image from their parents. Brooks Marks finding himself because he is actually very introvert. And very shy. So being able to like really find himself, and have to see these other kids, fight for the spotlight. It's
Yeah.
like super interesting,
It is very
and yeah.
interesting.
And I love it. I think it's a great concept. I think Bravo honestly brought some good shows, between this and Love Hotel, and all of that. I
Love
think they did a really good choice. And when you're watching a show and you're already thinking, oh, second season or what they're gonna do next season, that it's going to be a good show, because you're already like invested. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is
Yeah.
gonna happen. So
No, I'm excited for I want to see Ariana and Hudson's clothing line. I want to see that launch. I want to see more DJ Meredith Marks. Love
oh,
her.
please. I mean,
It's her show to me.
it's a show. Yeah.
I love her so much. But also, wait, there is one more bit of tea about, or that's going on in Next Gen NYC. Ava Dash is Damon Dash's daughter. I forgot what his record label is, but he's known for that. And I was surprised. I was like, why is this man on TV? Like, why is he making a presence on his daughter's show? Like, is he like a helicopter parent? Is he like, what is the motive? Because I would think that someone like him would be way too busy and not want the spotlight and be like, I've already had it. Like, this is your time kind of thing. Then we come to find out he is bankrupt and Ava just got, what do they call it? Like
Uh,
kicked out of her apartment.
oh,
Like
like a bit.
she had to vacate her apartment. Evicted, yeah. She got evicted from her $10,000 a month apartment because
Girl.
her dad used to pay for it, I guess. Her mother is Rachel Roy, who I didn't know this, but is allegedly Becky with the good hair, like Beyonce, Jay-Z
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm like, wait a minute. And she's been she's been doing a good job so far. Like, I feel like her father has taken more of the spotlight on this show than she has so far, but she is still participating. Like, she's trying to go in between the friends and like make connections. So like, I like her on the show, but I just thought that was so weird that her father was like trying to
Yeah.
be on camera. And now I'm wondering, is that because he knew he was in financial trouble and like this is a way for him to get some exposure or something?
Wow.
Like, what is the motive?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God. That's on it. Yes, that's crazy. Like, you're
Did you
literally
know
taking
that?
advantage of your kid.
Yeah,
So
did you know that before? I
no,
just
no, no. I'm just hearing it from
oh,
you. So I'm like, wow, like that's insane.
yeah, right?
And I think what is going to be interesting this season is a lot of like, Bravo kids and the other kids. You can kind of like see the difference.
Yes.
And also the other kids are finding their footage into what reality TV actually is, right? It's going to be interesting next season, now that they're seasoned,
Mhm.
now how they're gonna play, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
Because even Charlie said it, I think last episode, when we like he was fighting with Ariana, he said like, you were groomed to do this so well. It's like, well, yeah, this is your job. You are on reality TV. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So it's going to be. I'm kind of wait for season 2. I hope
Also,
that they start filming soon. So
yeah, no, I hope they do too, because Charlie also said, I hope my dad doesn't cut me off after he sees this.
yes.
I kind of want him to.
Mm. Let him find a job at Subway.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, become a gamer or something.
Yeah. OnlyFans. Look, I there is your
Oh
answer.
yeah.
Yeah.
OnlyFans. His roommate does OnlyFans,
Mm,
which his roommate is like a whole episode, I guess, because there's a lot on him too. Did you know that he was in a very public online relationship with his boyfriend in the last couple of years recently? And yeah, they had like a big public breakup or something.
okay.
I didn't know about this. I found out after I saw episode 1 and I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, and he's got his OnlyFans pictures out there. And I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I didn't know all
You know,
this.
this
So
is
I
why
think
we
there's
love
a
them.
lot.
This is why
Yeah.
they're good for the show because
No hurt, right? Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I mean, we could talk about all this all day, but we're out of time. So I want to thank you, Andy, so much for being here and sharing your world with us. This was everything. Before we go, can you tell the people where they can find you and how to support?
Right now, thank you so much for having me. We can talk about Bravo all day long. Like there are so many things to say, but thank you so much. Yeah, for everyone who wants to follow me, you can find me mainly on YouTube as the real Andy of Beverly Hills. But I'm on every single social media platform. But like, if you want the tea, go to YouTube, and you can find me the same everywhere. The real Andy of Beverly Hills.
Yay. Also, for everyone listening, or if you're here on YouTube, subscribe to Bravo and Blaze on all social media and Jenny Blaze on YouTube. Follow or join our Patreon at patreon.com/Bravo and Blaze. Grab your signature lighter at bravoandblaze.com. Andy, I need to send you one. And that's it for today. Thank you all. Stay lit.
Thank
Thank
you. Bye,
you.
everyone.